So let me ask you a little bit about another performer that really jumped out at me, and that's Lee Minho's performance as Kohansu, which I think will be one of the breakout or standout performances. And can you talk to me a little bit about casting him, but also the casting process? Because I read that you asked for auditions for all your performers, which was that's not a common practice, right?
No, in Korea it was.
Yeah.
It was a tough process. I think people felt that we were second guessing the actors. And what we try to explain is it has nothing to do with second guessing performers or talent. It just has to do with chemistry. I think so many shows fall apart, and I really do believe this because you have great actors, but they have no chemistry with one another, right? And with a show like this, where it's about family, you have to really believe that Sunja's a mother. You have to really believe that Youngjin's a mother, and that they have that just a primal bond. And with Minho, it's so funny. I knew he was a star, sort of. But, we made him audition many times, right? And finally, someone's like, "You know who Minho is, right?" What do you mean? He's like, "He is one of the biggest stars in Asia. He is like bigger than Brad Pitt."
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But he wanted this role so badly, and it was just a marvel. Hansu is an interesting character because in some ways you could have played him very surface and it would have worked, right? That would have worked. But knowing especially that we have one episode later in the series that's a standalone episode that very heavily revolves around Hansu's character, I knew that we needed an actor that can mine a little bit deeper. And with Minho, because he hasn't been given the opportunity before in his other shows, no one is going to see him this way. And that was really exciting to be able to bring something out.
Yeah, the early scenes with him are just so captivating, mostly because he is the person who would pop out on a dock. You know what I mean? Like he, obviously the way he dresses, but the way anyway he carries himself, but he just has like there's an enigmatic quality to him that just sort of pops on screen.
Yeah. And I haven't told this story before. So we do camera tests before you start shooting where you test different lenses, different filters. And we were doing Minho's camera tests. And I've never experienced this before. And I've worked with tremendous actors. I've worked with great looking actors, but I've never had this experience. The camera is on him, and what he does is he tilts his head lightly and he catches the camera eye. He knows how to move for the camera. And it's not vanity. It's something else. It's this weird connection with how he is portrayed. And the minute you yell cut though, it's gone. Like
really?
He's a person. It's when the camera is rolling, his persona that just is so. I mean, he's a wonderful person in real life. I'm not saying that, but he is a different person on camera.
When that kind of thing happens, like, do you actually do you go up to him and say like, "Hey, what just like you have this thing?" Like, do you ever talk to an actor about that quality? Yeah.
I mean, he's the first person I've ever had this experience with, and I don't know. Maybe that's what the Angelina Jolies have also. Like maybe that's what makes people superstars. That separates the pack. And he says it just comes to him. It's just
yeah. I mean, I remember Ethan Hawke talking about Denzel Washington that way, where he's like when they were doing Training Day, and Denzel Washington seemed to have this like sixth sense of what the camera was perceiving in his performance, and was almost able to like manufacture that moment, kind of.
Yeah, that's incredible.
I mean, it really must be just one of those innate talents.